It is February, the month of love. I love clean, non-toxic makeup. I am here to show you how I achieved this gorgeous look. From a soft pink smoky eye to a beautiful flush of the cheek and a gorgeous magenta lip. Please stay tuned to see how I achieved this look. So the first thing I like to start out with is my primer. This is the RMS. It is the Supernaturals in Medium Aura, and this is beautiful. It just gives your skin this super amazing glow and a little bit of a, for me, I use the medium one, and so it kind of gives me just like a little bronzy color. Okay, and then my next step is, because I have a lot of skincare on my skin, plus I put that primer SPF on, I have to really fill in these brows. As you can see, like this one arches up, this one has its mind of its own. We all have the brows, right? If you have beautiful brows, you are very blessed. Keep them, don't do anything to them. But you know, I was born in the 80s, and so I grew up in the 90s, meaning we, you know, plucked everything. And so here I am filling them in. But what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of loose setting powder, and I like to take a fluffy brush and just kind of dip that in and then just go right, especially right here, because I'm going to put pencil where on my skin where the hairs do not exist. I'm going to make fake hairs, and that just kind of helps everything kind of stick, because otherwise if it's too, you know, slick, the pencil's just going to go whoosh, and you're going to draw everything everywhere. So it's just a little tip that I learned. We're gonna go in with the Kosas Brow Pencil. This is the Brow Pop in medium brown. I have highlights, but I like a little bit stronger brow, and I'm just going to really just brush them the way I like them up. So the pencil kind of does the work for you. So there's two different sides. We're gonna use the flat side here where it has a little angle. So start right out here, because now you're gonna get a feel for the pressure that you're putting on the brush. And then I like to bring the arch up. And I brush it in to see where I need to really do some more work. So when I get to the front part of my brow where I have no hair, I'm gonna hold it up and down. Twist it up just a little bit, not too much. And then what I'm gonna do is you go with your nose here, and kind of just draw a little line. So see, between there and there, that's a lot of skin for me to have to fill in. So I use the lightest pressure here, because sometimes if we put too much there, we tend to look a little angry, because all that color brings the brow down, and we do not want to do that, right? We want to lift everything. So then this one is my little tricky brow. Brows are sisters, not twins. And this one loves to give me a little bit of trouble, but that's okay, we work with it. So again, on a side angle, I'm gonna start right here, deposit that color. This one I have to create way more of a tail. And then because I naturally have like a high, I don't know, my face just kind of goes up right here, and this one is a little bit down. No one's symmetrical. So the beauty of makeup is that you can kind of create that or fake it, and it's all like kind of an illusion, if you will, but a fun one, right? You know, and so I always say this, but makeup is super fun. I love to draw. I always did as a kid, and so this just like helps me get my inner child. Every single day I get to draw my eyebrows on, right? Okay, so again, this is the one where we're going to draw a lot, because you can see there's a lot of skin there. Start here, up and down, just barely touching the skin. Okay, so they're pretty even right now. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Fit Glow Brow Gel, and this is the Plant Protein Brow Gel, again in medium brown. And I love it because it has this like beautiful tiny spoolie, and it's just the right size. So again, we're gonna start right here, just drag up. And you can see we're beginning to build more of a bushy brow, which is in style right now, and I love. Then we take the brow pencil without anything on it, and just the spoolie part, because I like to kind of blend us all together. You're gonna hear me say blend a lot in this video, because it's the key to everything in my opinion. I like to carve out my brows. So I'm just gonna put a little bit right here and a little bit right here. And you take a concealer brush, a flat brush, you just kind of carve that out, meaning you're carving and erasing all at the same time. Just really defines all that work you just did. I learned this on YouTube a billion years ago and I have not stopped doing it. And I'm putting more on because, like I said, I want to show you how doing this kind of cancels everything out. So even like I said, if I'm running around and I don't really want to like put makeup on, and this is a little tip I've learned, and it just, see how that kind of like just brightened up my whole eye and took away all that like veininess or anything that our, you know, eyelids show. It's just natural and normal. Okay, then you want to take that fluffy brush again with the powder and just run it all over here, because you don't want anything to stick to it. There are times you might, but in my case, I never really do. When you would want to is if you're like packing shadow right here, it kind of helps, but I'll show you a little trick I use to do that anyways. And so right now we're just kind of making it like super soft where your finger can run right through it, because when we blend our eyeshadows out, we want everything to blend super, super smooth. Okay, so the placement of our eyeshadow, what I always love to do, this like really helps just bring in the entire look, is I take my bronzer. This one's from Jane Iredale. This is in the one light. I also have the medium too. And so anytime I'm just bringing a brush in, I always do this because you're gonna get so much less fallout. But this is why I like to do my eyes first. So I kind of work like this down. And when I do makeup for brides or on other people, this is the exact way I do it too. I'll kind of like shade match them here and then blend it out later. But I really love to focus on the eyes first because I like to blend, and sometimes that can get a little messy, if you will. And so I'll show you how to clean all of that up. It's just something that works for me, and I've really like doing it. So we're gonna just, again, I use like a really fast kind of like windshield wiper motions, and then circular too, all at the same time. And so this, you can't really tell a difference, but in the end, it's really gonna blend everything together because this is such a light bronzer, but it's really gonna give you that like beautiful gradient look, and you didn't have to like work too hard. Okay, so this is a little makeup artist trick too. When you want to kind of like tie your whole look together, you use blush. So this one is the Pomegranate Fizz from RMS, because I'm gonna go for like a really pink look today. And so I'm gonna take a little bit of that and just also pop that in the same place that we just did all that bronzer. So we're building color to get a really, really beautiful like eye. I believe that we build. Okay, so I'm gonna slow it down for you. Now I'm like moving my hand in circles, and then I'm just going in windshield wiper motions. That's kind of like giving me that beautiful blended gradient look. And it's such a good technique that I found. So now we've built the crease with a little bit of that bronzer and plus the blush that we're gonna use. We're gonna build more. So this is the Rowan palette. It is gorgeous. This is the 1111, so it has some like pinky, silver, bronzy colors. And what I'm gonna do is just tap this color Chow right on the lid. I find that it's best to use your fingers for this because you can really like warm up the color. Here, let me show you. You can really warm up the color on here and then just press it in with your finger, and it really just deposits beautifully on the lid. And then because I love a super intense eye, we're gonna take a flat brush with our Rose Dawn from Jane Iredale. So this is like a blush, and it's beautiful on the eyes. So I'm gonna take this really pretty, really pink color because we want like this soft, beautiful, like pink eye. See how that's like really gonna brighten up and stick to everything. So the thing is like, this one is a little bit more like pinky bronze, but then I wanna make it a little bit brighter. But this is the cream shadow. So it's really gonna help this powder stick on it. And this is the trick I mean by having something a little bit wet on your eye will really help kind of like brighten up and bring out all the vibrant colors that you might want to put on your eye. Okay, so this is such a beautiful like pink romantic eye, but I like a little bit more, not gonna lie. So again, I'm gonna take the blush and then I'm gonna take my medium bronzer. This one has been used a little bit. Okay, so I hit pan, I love it, it's good. It's from Jane Iredale. I'm gonna mix them together because I just wanna kind of like really get a little bit more definition in the crease. So I take this crease brush from Jane. If you do not have this brush, you need to get it. It is beautiful. So it just fits like beautiful in the eye socket and you just kind of like work it in and it just creates this gorgeous definition. And a little trick I learned is you kind of try to keep, if you can, keep your eye open when you're doing this, because when people are looking at you, that's what they're gonna see is your eye open, right? And when you blink, I mean, your eyes shut, so gorgeousness. But still, I just learned that I like to have a little bit like more where people can see, because you might only bring it down here, but no one's gonna see that. And when your eyes open, you might need to bring it like all right here, right? So just try it, see how you like that. And then that's bringing some definition and I want more. So, if you don't have a black eyeshadow, use an eyeliner. And this one from Rowan is so creamy, it's black. So I'm just gonna take a little bit right here and a little bit right there. One eye first. See how right there is gonna be a little bit. Take that brush, nothing else on it. Just blend that in. And we're gonna keep blending and blending and blending. Okay, so see how we have a little bit more smokiness and a beautiful, like gorgeous pink lid? That is what we're after. So we lost a little bit of our pink. We're gonna take the main pink again, and we're just going to kind of go over that. A lot of the times people ask like, what do I use for a highlight here? So I have a little trick. I like to use a lighter pressed powder, which is a Jane Iredale. This one's in Radiant. And so this is light for me, right? You can tell. And so I love to use this as my brow bone highlight. And I know Melissa does the same thing. See how that's just really gonna like bring. And this is a tiny little detail brush. I feel like everyone needs this because it is just amazing. I've been doing this technique called underpainting and I have been loving it. It gives like such a beautiful natural finish without being too much. And so I mixed two concealers. So I love the Kosas. It has a little bit more yellow undertone. I put that right in the corner. And then I'll take the Jane Iredale Pure Match and I bring up the sides, okay? So we always wanna like bring the face up. And then I like to do a little bit on my chin, right here, a little bit on my nose. I tend to get like red right here and I have some redness right here. So I'm just put a little bit on my cheeks. I haven't dipped it in twice, you know? So I'm just using what's on my wand. And then we like to highlight right here. Okay, so then we take this amazing brush from Jane Iredale. This one is spectacular. It is called the Sculpting Brush. It is beautiful. It's like a fluffy stippling brush. It is amazing. And so what I'll do is I'll start here and see how easily that blends, right? And I just blend all the colors together. Just dot it in. Sometimes you don't want to like swipe too much if you don't have to because you're moving everything around. And so you just kind of want to stipple it in. That's what it's called, is when you press it in. And now we're gonna go in with our cream contour. So I love to take a concealer. This one's from RMS and this is in shade 88. So it is like, bronzy one. Now this is a little bit warmer than what you would wanna do for a contour, if you will, because you usually want an ashy tone when you're contouring. But I'm just trying to warm up the face and kind of sculpt it just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in heavier with my bronzer. So I'm taking that same brush and we're just gonna do this, like a little bit there. You don't need a lot around anywhere the sun's gonna hit your face. Okay, so that's where you wanna remember to bring warmth. And I like to I'm barely touching my skin. I have enough product on there. And I just really like to kind of like bring warmth there. And then if you really want a pouty lip, you're gonna put a bunch right here. Don't worry, we're gonna hide it. Then, if you're like me, you have a little chin that you wanna kinda maybe get rid of. So you're gonna bring some right here. I like to bring it out, and then down here, you're gonna look kind of funny for a minute, and that is okay. So to blend all this together, this is such a good brush. It is the contour brush from Jane Iredale. And so it is like pretty dense. I love this. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the cheek, and I'm just gonna press this up. And you just kind of blend all this in. Same with the forehead. And then that area. And then what I like to do is I like to blend it down. So we have like this beautiful like highlight contour thing going on. Now we're gonna add our foundation. So my current favorite foundation is the Invisible Touch from Kira Weiss. The componentry is not my absolute favorite, but we make it work. So I like to just add this all over. And I am a big foundation mixer, okay? So you might like the finish of one foundation, the color of one foundation, but you might need something else. I'm okay with that. I love it. So I love this from Fit Glow. It's their Foundation Plus, and see how that's like a little bit lighter for me because I'm mixing the two together to get my perfect shade, and I'm just putting this all around. And so then what I'm gonna do is take my Ilia complexion brush, and I'm just gonna press it in. I don't wanna move too much around because we just like laid all of that concealer and also the contour all over our face. And so I just want to press this into my skin, because if I start moving it all around like crazy, we're just going to kind of ruin what we just did. Okay, now we're ready for some powder. I love this Fit Glow powder, and taking a fluffy brush, I have to get more. And so I take that fluffy brush and I just like dot it right here. This is where I crease the most, and this is where like my mascara wants to just kind of bleed down and do what it does. So the more you powder this, well, it kind of depends, right? So the more you powder with the wrong powder, the more it's gonna look cakey. But this powder is so light, it's so fluffy that it literally will like hide all the imperfections. And then I just kind of run my finger there, and it's not tacky. That's what I want. Okay, so now that we've done the under eyes, I'm gonna take the rest of my powder, and I'm just gonna go over like the points where we get very oily. And then I like to just bring it up my cheekbones, because that's where I'm gonna put some powder bronzer on top of all the cream that we already did. And so this powder's so light and so finely milled that it's really, like, you can't even tell I'm wearing it. It just took away some of that sheen that we don't necessarily want. We'll bring it back later with a highlighter, but it's just so amazing. I do love that powder. Okay, so next up we set the under eyes, we set the middle of the face, all of that. We're gonna go in with our blush again, okay? And then I'm taking this detail shader brush from Jane Iredale, and I'm gonna dip it in here because you know I love a smoky under eye too. I'm gonna dip it in my medium bronzer because that's what we did in our crease here. And then you're gonna take and just follow your under eye a little bit. We're gonna take that pencil again, and we're gonna just drag it. So creamy. We're gonna drag it there, and we're gonna drag it just a little bit right here. Taking an angled brush, we're gonna just kind of bring that up and then bring it in. I'm like kind of like just sweeping down towards my eyelid in a very light angle. And then if you want to just drag it out a little bit to give a tiny little wing, just keep doing these little strokes like this, because you just work with the product that you have on there already, right? Okay, so if you guys have watched any of my other reels or anything like that, you know I love two mascaras. They're both from Ilia. Mascara was the hardest thing for me to find a clean version of. It was the last thing that I found a clean version of. But this one works. And so this is the fullest volume. This is what I love to do first. So I really love to like plump my lashes, and I like to lay it on thick. I love a like thick, kind of chunky lash, but still separated. And so I'll do, I don't know, how many coats do I usually do? Probably like way more than the average person. I'd say like 10. But I'll literally just keep going, dipping it in, doing the other eye, and then I'll follow it up with the Limitless lash. And so I just go to town on my lashes. So the Limitless lash, this is such a good innovation, such a good brush, because what it is there's like this comb on this end and then these bristles on that end. Okay, so the reason I love the fullest volume is because it has like natural bristles, if you will, like old school bristles, but this one is plastic. But I still like to just go in and separate everything, right? And build and build and build. But then wait till I do my bottom lashes, because I take the comb. Okay, so this part right here, and I literally just comb through those bottom lashes. And look at how like defined and separated those are. So I'm gonna go back in with my volumizing, and I literally, this is what I do. I just need a lot of eyelashes. Okay, then lastly again, for the eyes, we need to make this shadow on the lid even more intense. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush with the two shades here, so this pink and this light pink here, and we're just gonna intensify that a little bit. And then this is my signature thing I love. Well, everyone does it, but we just kind of take a little bit in the corner there, and see how that really, really brightens up the eye. We have the complexion done, and now we just need to warm up the face with some bronzer and my favorite part, which is blush. I'm gonna use both of the bronzers that I used before, which is the light and the medium. I mix them together. Again, those like circular motions. This is the chisel shader brush, excuse me, from Jane Iredale. It's super like fluffy, so you're not gonna get too much crazy color deposit, and we're just gonna move that up. We'll move our hair out of the way. Again, any place where the sun is gonna hit, all those places you kind of like contoured before with that like warm color down here. Then we go in with our blushes. We're gonna use 2, probably 3 today, because I love, love, love blush. So this is Pomegranate Fizz. Remember, this is the one that we used in our crease. So I'm gonna take that same bronzer brush, excuse me, and I'm gonna dip it in. And then we're just gonna go up higher than you think you need to go. We used to do this, and that's where you'd put it, but especially as we get older, we need to go higher than we think. So Rosemary Swift, who does RMS, who created RMS, she gave us like the best tip. She actually trains us personally, all of our Citrine team, which is amazing. And so she said, as if you like do this, and you know how you have like a bag right here, it should really sit right underneath that bag. And that was such a good tip for us, because, you know, she used to do like all the Victoria's Secret models and everything. So she knows her stuff. Now that we've like warmed up the face, I still want to go in with a little bit more pinky pink. Oh, this one is French Rosé, and this is just going to give us like even more pink, where the Pomegranate Fizz gave us some like raspberry. And I find layering is so fun. So don't worry, we have a lot on. I'm gonna use one of Melissa's tricks to show you how to fix it. So I take my Pure Pressed, and this one is not radiant. So remember the one that we did like our light brow bone and everything? This one is my Golden Glow. It's been used, so that's why it kind of looks like that. And then what she likes to do is all those places where you kind of get a little bit more, tend to get more oily, so your T-zone, but she likes to kind of just carve out your blush. Like if it came down a little bit too low, it kind of is like an eraser. And then I just take it right here. So then I'm gonna go in to make it monochromatic. And because I'm extra like that, I'm gonna go in with the the Rose Dawn again, yes. And we're gonna mix everything together and we're just gonna pop it like really quickly on top. See how that really gave us like that highlight that we had put on our eyelids. So it's just a beautiful monochromatic look. We're gonna use the pomegranate, or the Pom Mist, excuse me, face mist. This is so beautiful. There's a couple different setting sprays. Let it set. And we drenched the face because we really want to activate all those minerals, and it's going to give us such a blurred, hydrated look. Last step, but the most fun too, are lips, right? So a trick is, let me find my brush, is to take your foundation brush with nothing on it and just cancel out the lips. Then you're going to take your fluffy brush with just some powder and quickly do that, because this is gonna make your lipstick stay all day. So what I'm gonna do is take Root in Fit Glow. Then I'm gonna take a red lip liner from RMS and just kind of go over that, blend it together, and then we're gonna take the most gorgeous lipstick. This is called Knockout from Ilia, and these are so creamy and so pigmented. This is gonna give you that fuchsia pout that you have been wanting. So we're gonna fill this in and then perfect everything. And so you just kinda, then when you need to, you just go in at the liner that you maybe want more color of. And then if you have any issues with your lips, this is such a good one to have. This little bent liner brush. You just take some concealer or your foundation, either way. Just pop a little bit on the end. Right here, right? Okay, then one more coat of the lipstick because we gotta blend everything together. And you have such a beautiful, fun magenta lipstick with a soft pink eye and a gorgeous cheek to match.